Hey YouTube, Jack from Curious Culture, and today is the 10th of March, and I've decided today I'm going to go full carnivore for a few days. So I've been experimenting with some carbs and keto and that over the past couple of weeks, and my body weight stayed much the same because I think I convinced myself that I'll have all these carbs and it'll replenish from all the running I've been doing. So last week I did 21 Ks, spread over 3 sessions. I did 11 Ks on the Tuesday, 6 on the Friday, and 4 on the Saturday. Um, I was getting quite flat in my moods and just worn out. And I think this is what can convince us that we need the carbs. So I've been listening to Dr. Sean Baker, who's full carnivore, um, and I was like, maybe I convinced myself that I need carbs. And on this path of trying to really optimize diet and that old habits die hard. And I'm 30, and when you think about it, I've been having carbs all my life, so the pull to having carbs is strong. And while I'm not 100% sure if I'll be carnivore long term, I do want to stay on it, you know, for the medium to short term at least, because when I look at this week, I really want to get a few more kilos off, and I really do like the look of my physique when I'm at the gym, when I've lost a lot of that excess water weight from using the carnivore diet. I talked to the gym owner saying, "Oh, I want to be the next David Goggins." And it's a fun thought experiment at least, and it's interesting to set a high marker like that, because you think about, all right, well, where am I objectively now compared to where that goal is, and what does it take? And even if you don't meet that 100% target, imagine how much you can learn getting even 40% to his level of David Goggins' level. It teaches you a lot about, like, okay, I've had one big meal today. I actually had about 500 grams of T-bone steak. I had 250 grams of porterhouse steak, 3 eggs cooked in a lot of olive oil, and goat cheese. And that is really extremely satiating. And objectively, I shouldn't have to eat until like midday tomorrow. And the big thing about growing and getting forward on this path is it's like I must choose the discomfort over the comfort. So I'd probably want to eat tonight, but it's not because I'm actually hungry. It's more because that steak looks good, but I've had enough calories. Like, I'm logically in a place where I don't need to eat that dinner. So it's like, well, we've got to choose sort of like, do I have the dinner, or do I fast and improve myself for who I am in a few days' time? Like, what's more important? So, um, yeah, I think it's great, the carnivore diet. And what's interesting about choosing a diet like this, and you observe that these doctors who are all about it also are bigger on the exercise and all those other things in their life. There is so much carbohydrate, like, you know, like bad food, not necessarily, not like I said, like carbs altogether, but there's so much in our face and in our minds about, like, oh, you better eat carbs and that, like when you might not actually need them. So it can be a confusing world we live in. Can be hard to navigate about what's actually true. But for example, by going on the carnivore diet just for 24 hours, I can lose about this much water. If you look at my body, 1.5 litres, it's nice being that bit lighter, and that's water that you're not necessarily needing. It's actually just excess water that we hold on to. So if you eat like a massive steak and that, like you'll feel good. Like, and you put heaps of Himalayan. I put a lot of Himalayan salt on it and pepper and all the fats and that. And there's a nice subtle feeling you get on the carnivore diet where it's like you don't have to eat. Like you don't have to bother cooking 3 times a day. You just need a frying pan and put the steak in with the oil, your eggs, and you don't have to do some extravagant meal. It's super simple, makes cooking really easy. What can be very beneficial from doing a few days even of carnivore is that when you do introduce carbs again, you might get a better awareness of how much to have. And so instead of looking at this as like, oh, now I'm carnivore and I'm carnivore forever, maybe you'll do carnivore for a few days and then come back onto carbs and realize, oh, you know what, low carbs is the way for me. I'm going to just have carbs before I go to gym and then carnivore after gym. So then the glycogen that is used in the exercise for the most part, if not all the glycogen. So the glycogen you're waiting for your body to let go of, you can use in your exercise, and it can be a great fuel for that. That is a belief I still think is pretty solid, but there are people that also do full carnivore and say their endurance and that in the gym's fine. But yeah, I reckon, a cup or two of rice before a long run can feel really good, like in terms of the glycogen, and then you switch into your fat and protein. So you kind of put another fuel source in first, and then you have your usual carnivore fuels for your exercise. And for me, my body weight can be stubborn, and so I know there's a lot of hormonal benefits to one meal a day. So I did have a protein up and go before gym this morning, and waited a few hours and then had a big carnivore lunch, and I want to just have that for the next 24 hours, and that'll increase my human growth hormone and better hormonal levels in general, and also because you're healing just doing 24 hours of fasting. So I mean, I want to go to gym tomorrow morning. It's now almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, I can have a black coffee and my body will still be running off the fat and protein. So yeah, I'll be hungry after the gym tomorrow, and my body will definitely be wanting that next carnivore meal, and I'll be in a fat burning state too. The fat burning state will be very good at the gym tomorrow morning. Just don't plan on going crazy at the gym, but what I do plan for this week is that I've got a massage assessment this weekend. Well, not assessment, just a training thing. So I'm doing my diploma in remedial massage. It was last week, so today's Tuesday. Last week I did the 21 Ks, and I don't know how accurate it is, and I'd be interested in hearing people's opinions on this, but I heard that this week I could actually become a lot fitter by not running this week and just doing some walking and that. But what I did this morning was 1 kilometre on the treadmill, just to because I feel like it activates the same muscles. It reminds the body, hey, we're adapting to running, instead of just going to 0. So it's like, okay, just do a little bit, 1 or 2 Ks, just to remind the body, yep, we need to get used to this. And then also over the next few days, dropping a fair bit of water weight, and then either remaining on the carnivore diet over the weekend or having carbs on the weekend in preparation for a very long jog on Monday, potentially being 15 Ks. With the purpose of pushing myself to my limit to really make my body get into adaptation, to get uncomfortable. Body fat on me is stubborn, but I'm going to keep trying. And that's the thing. It's a refining process and tweaking the diet. It's just so easy to get comfortable. Like I go into Melbourne on the weekend to do my massage training, and after a big day, it's like, staying at an Airbnb, yeah, can't really cook, so yeah, I'll just get the Indian with the rice and that. But I suppose you can just prepare, steaks and you heat them up and that. And it's the novelty of going away for a weekend where you want to add on the lovely carb foods and that as well. But to get strict and progress, the only way to use that effectively is to then do lots of exercise soon after, which is the Monday, to then do something with all that glycogen. So yeah, what interests me, instead of seeing it as a black and white journey, it's like, well, what if you do carnivore 4 days a week and you have some carbs the other days and that, or you go sort of keto a bit, a couple of days a week, and you get all your fibre in and you get the bowel moving well, and in case that's not working properly, and there's still a lot for me to learn about this. And what I wonder about people who like a one-eyed carnivore, right, is do they gather all the scientific facts that are true in certain situations, and then they run with that as the whole picture of their life and their diet. So what I mean by that is, what if they didn't know that, say they did a 10k jog, what if they didn't know that the rice and carbs and whatever other carbs they like actually improve their performance, whereas they might be telling themselves, oh no, my performance is fine on carnivore. So there's some good questions about the diets, and I like to keep an open mind, and I'm open to a new perspective that works for me. Could take some time to really know what truly works. I think it's a very interesting area to look at. And today I had 500 grams of T-bone, and I put a lot of Himalayan salt on for electrolytes, and also a 250 grams of porterhouse steak, 3 fried eggs, cooked in olive oil, and goat cheese, quite a bit of goat cheese, so like 2 big blocks of that. And I spread it over the meat, which was really nice. Helps balance the flavour. Like, it's a bit much, just the pure meat flavour sometimes. So some good cheeses really make it a lot easier. And I like the salt on it, and it feels like my body wants it. So yeah, it's an interesting world we live in, and knowledge is always developing, but yeah, I'm always open to learning and keen to share more. Thank you. Bye.